Okay, so this is how to fuse plastic bags. And what we've done is we've taken 3 plastic bags and cut the handles off and cut the bottom off, so it's kind of like a tube. And you've got 3 different bags layered on each other, and you want them to kind of be about the same size. And we've got a piece of butcher paper underneath, and we're gonna put another piece on top, and you can kind of see through it. And the big thing is that you want the ink to be on the inside, so you want to flip it so it's inside out, so that the ink is on the inside. All right, so now we're gonna take an iron, no steam, and we've got it set at like a level 3 or like a silk setting or rayon setting. And we're starting in the middle and applying a little bit of pressure and going pretty slowly in like outward and circular motions in a small bit, a small kind of pattern. Because what we're trying to do is get enough heat to fuse the bags, but not to melt them. And you don't want to stay in one place for too long. And if you're using the right kind of paper, you should be able to see through. You'll start to see that all of the inks are starting to come up towards the top, and you can see them a little bit better as they're fusing together. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Now we're going to check it. All right, so you can see that it's starting to fuse. It is a little bit hot, so be careful.
We're all fused over here.
Yeah,
totally.
it's a little bit unfused on the edges here, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over, because this is gonna help to kind of, straighten it out and make sure that we're getting, it gives us a second chance to make sure that we're getting some of the stuff that isn't necessarily fusing together. And we're gonna be cutting off some of the pieces that, aren't fusing completely, because we're gonna make it into a nice rectangle for sewing, which is the next step after that. So now we go over and we kind of do the same thing, but maybe not necessarily spending as much time, because already it's been somewhat, we've already spent some time with heat on it, and it's already fused a little bit. So now we're really literally just kind of ironing it out and making sure that we're catching anything that didn't already fuse on this side. This looks pretty good, so let's see. It's stuck a little bit. Actually, this is probably just a little static. But
yeah,
here we go. So this is nice. So this is 3 plastic bags, so 6 thicknesses. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of cut this down with another piece that we had made over here, and kind of make these both the same size. And then our next step is to sew them together. We're just gonna try to give ourselves a nice straight edge. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we've got the one side. I'm just gonna hand cut this one. So we're just cutting this down so that it's gonna match. And also this gives you the opportunity to cut any of the unfused sides off. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now we've got 2 bags that have been fused together that are essentially the same size. So we cut 2 straps for the handles from some fused bags. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some material and we cut it. These straps are about 1.5 inches, and we cut 4 strips that are slightly larger, so like 2 by 2 of like a thicker material. This is corduroy. And this is going to help to reinforce where the handles meet the bags. So you're gonna need 2 straps, whatever length you want, and then at least 1 square per where each junction is. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do actually is we're going to just turn this top edge over to create a hem to make it a little bit harder for the layers to come apart as you're using them. Or you can use a serge machine, and we're just going to, because it's plastic, you just have to kind of fold it over like tape, and we're just gonna send it through on a straight stitch in our machine here. Oh, doesn't want to stay. Okay. So first we go ahead and do a couple stitches, then reverse it so it locks the stitch. So I've turned over one side of each piece so that it doesn't fray, or like I said, you can serge it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the handle that we've gotten, turn that off a little bit, and you're going to take your piece of material, your reinforcement piece, and then you're going to put it in about an inch and a half from the side, because you want to leave some space for you to be able to have a seam. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do an X with your sewing machine. So normally you can pin, use a straight pin and pin this. I'm just going to actually just hold it and kind of eyeball it here. Okay, so one thing you want to keep in mind is if you, like this is going to be a smaller bag, but if you have a bigger bag, you want to make sure that you go over this enough times that you feel pretty comfortable that this is going to hold on. So you can see that this is firmly on here. And then you're going to do that with all the sides of your handles. And the one thing you have to make sure is that you don't twist the handle when you go ahead and put it over onto the other side, so that you can see here that it's the same side. You don't want it to be twisted like that. It's got to kind of be like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other pieces, and then we're going to put the final thing together. So now we've got our handles on the inside, so you can tell it's the inside because I've turned it and you can see that's the rough edge. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the right sides, or the outsides that are going to show, and put those together like that. And we're just going to go around the outside and close up the seams. And you want to go in at least 1/4 of an inch just to make sure you have enough seam that it doesn't accidentally pull apart. So I'm going to go just a little bit on the inside of where my foot is so that I can visually see where I'm going. Start this here. And then make sure that you set your seam going backwards. And just so you know, this is a little slidey, so you want to make sure that you're really holding onto it or you pin it. And you'll also have to kind of guide it through because it might slip a little bit under your foot. And then make sure your needle's in here. Put your little foot up, flip it over, put your foot back down, keep going. Get our threads off here. Turn it inside out. And actually, I lied. You want to clip the ends right here. Not into where you actually sewed, but just clip the ends off like that, because that makes it turn a little bit better. And you've got your bag. So exciting.
Ooh, look at that.
Here's your bag. And you know, normally if this was fabric, you would want to iron this to make sure your seams are nice and straight, but because this is plastic, you don't want to do that. But you can actually just apply a little bit of pressure and it will pretty much flatten out. Like that. So here's your bag.
Ooh,
Dun, dun, dun. Very nice. Exciting.